Hey guys, let's get enlightened in a really fast way. What is that enlightenment? You are source, God, so basically here in the human perspective, you're always zoomed in into so many details. And it seemed maybe sometimes hard from the normal human existence to expand your awareness into actually bridging all the way to singularity or source. Okay, and then another thing is that through the dimensional construct, we cannot actually see source with our eyes. So, yeah, we're seeing a dimensional rendering of reality. So, I'm going to show you a trick in my work for you to actually get into like the expansion of your crown so that you can hold that state of being while you're chilling here and eating your ice cream. Okay, it goes like this. So, do you have someone in this world that you would, without second of hesitation or thinking, give your life right now so they can live and, enjoy their life? So, just it's a trade-off, right? You give up. You just say, okay, I'm gonna give my life in order for that person to just continue enjoying life. And it's okay if you don't, and maybe then this exercise is not going to work for you. However, usually life is set up in such a way that you will have someone to remind you in this complexity, because you are God's source and you are the intelligence that constructs this reality. So you make it funny that you are lost in a dream of complexity, but there's something to remind you of this. Okay? I was blessed to have I'm blessed now to have a kid. And also, there's no need to like give up my life or whatever, right? We can stay chilling, but the personality, individuality is invested into separation. So you have been wound up to seek certain things in the world that will complete you. How does this work? Well, in the world, we experience subject relationship object, so we experience many objects of desire, and we still have to transverse life to collapse the the illusion of separation between subject and the objects of desire, meaning that I will transverse life until I have completed and collapsed every imaginary separation from me and something that I wanted to have. So that would be an experience of me doing something tomorrow, eating ice cream, and like everything that is unfinished business needs to collapse. The experience of experiencing will collapse me as a subject doing that, having that, and then it's going to be complete. And we produce desires. So if you go into the world, it's like a shopping mall and you will produce desires, and then you have bandwidths to collapse. Now, these feelings keep you selfish in your identity because they're things that you need to do, only you need to do them, and you need to finish all of that before you can actually come back into singularity. Because if you have completed and collapsed every separation between you and your desire, you become self-fulfilled. This is a state of liberation. It's also called the attainment of the ultimate siddhi. So siddhis are superpowers that kind of like, if you're on a yogic path, you know, you will attain superpowers. However, the superpowers come as a byproduct of you having less and less and less personal engagement. So less and less things to chase in the world, less and less things to collapse. What happens with your awareness? Instead of always being projected into your karmic trajectory, all the things that you need to collapse, you actually start to be more present in the now, which expands your awareness. When your awareness expands, you start to be aware of the subtle layers of reality, metaphysical layers. When you see how the nature works, like the quantum field creates this reality, and with its molecular structures and like appearances of the physical world, from seeing that, you can, let's say, shift reality from the quantum level. So to a being that's stuck in the bandwidth of physicality, that looks like an extraordinary power. However, to a yogi, the siddhi or the attainment of that power is not a power that belongs to that person. Is the fact that the person with its intention is dissolving all of these intentions that you need to collapse, your desires, your fulfillment. You're dissolving this, you're becoming nature itself. When you're witnessing nature on a more subtle level, you are just witnessing how something works, let's say in a causal level of reality, how things come into form. So you get to manifest things from that space, let's say for example from the quantum space. So how we look at the attainment of the, like a superpower, from the perspective of the ego, it's something that the ego cannot grasp. So it looks like a superpower. Somebody can bend time or manifest things. But to the person that's able to manifest things, they're actually giving up, seeking things, wanting things. And when you're giving up, or you have already collapsed having that, then you give up. Then this becomes your expanding awareness and presence is also seeing how that arises in nature. So it just becomes you being in tune with that already being there, for example. In manifestation also, we are taught to collapse the separation between the object of desire and the subject, and then you feel the tension, 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 tension. Once it collapses, you feel like you're one with that. It becomes neutral, and then this thing can come. So for the ego, things come either through perseverance of collapsing or letting go, because letting go of the intention that is actually projecting separation between subject and object of desire also gives you what you're already whole and complete here, and that object is you. So you're just actually playing that there are external things that you're chasing, but the physical reality is a dreamlike structure that allows you this gamification. Other than that, you're always singularity, you're always oneness. Yeah. So one portal to oneness, when we have intentions, and we might have a whole queued up bunch of intentions that are driving us every morning when we open our eyes, or we are in life, and there's a karmic trajectory. We're being pulled to do, we're being pulled to have, even to have, to have, to have, to have, to do, to do, to do, to do. And so from that pull, we will not be able to go into singularity. And then someone might show up like your twin flame, or the perfect reflection that shows you through the illusion of your intentions that you are singular. This is like the only role and purpose of your twin flame. So it's not to have a partner. It's not to get someone. It's not to love or do, right? It's not for these things that the ego wants, right? Because these are illusion, yeah. But if a twin flame comes to your life, they will actually start to defragment all of your wanna have, wanna do intentions, so you can come back into the singularity, because just in front of you there will be a person, but around you there will be singularity, so you need to expand your awareness. And this person catalyzes and triggers that all of your seeking for the things yet to have, yet to do, are defragmented. This is the role of the twin flame. And that's maybe the person that you are like, I just love them, and yeah, I would like give up my life right now. But when you say you would give up your life right now, or for a child that you love so much, that is giving you that pure connection to singularity that is beyond the appearances of individuals, and you say, yeah, like, yeah, I would, without thinking, just say like, I don't need to like do anything. I don't need to take a breath, or okay, let me take one last like final breath, like bye, bye bye world, in order for them to just go on and like have fun in this game of life, or do whatever, do their suffering, do their like whatever they want to do. And this puts you in a transcendent perspective. And life is wired to also, with all of your intentions and things yet to complete yourself, doing and having that seems like it's going to complete you, because then ego is always in this grasping, right? However, underneath the game, you're already whole and complete. And giving up your life is that pure love, unconditional love. I don't ask anything in return. I give my life. This is my last breath. I go. It's so liberating, because what you're giving up your mortal, imaginary video game identity that's wrapped in all of these intentions, seeking, 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 seeking. And if you let that go, you realize, okay, so now what happens if I'm like not able to access my human body and the world and do another thing? Another thing yet, like in this world, no more ice cream, no more walking in the street, no more going to the shop, no more saying hi to somebody, no, like nothing. Ciao, bye. Where does that put you? Well, you just said, I would give up this life. That leaves you in singularity, because now, behind the dimensional screen and the rendering of this world simulation, what is left? Now, if you're still in the body, it feels like a little bit abstract, right? Because it feels like nothing. But in that nothing, it is you still in a state of singularity, self-fulfilled. Self-fulfilled. You have it. You are that which dreams the whole entire world. And in that, when you gave up your life, when you gave up your life, even as a thought experiment, even as a self-inquiry that we're doing right now, you gave it up because there was someone that you say, okay, I'm gonna give myself up for that person that provides me this link, this singularity link, this unconditional love connection. Contemplating that puts your awareness, puts your camera into the perspective, oh, I am free. But now capture that, okay? Because like everything is a frequency, and in the human experience with all these separations, we're in a frequency of like bum, bum, bum. However, where you're going, the frequency is like there's even no like the frequency is so there's no tick 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 tick. It's just is one unbroken line. It stops even being like a frequency because the frequency needs like the interruption, it needs the amplitude, it needs the rhythm. This like a like plasma laser, like it's contains like tick, 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 tick. There's no separation, so it's all singular light, and you can feel it. Even though world construct around us is still like this, whatever. Like I can touch other objects and I can be in my body. Like in the space awareness, in the mental construct, I don't need to go and put a lot of things in front of me yet to do. I can stay in that expanding. Like, yeah, gave up my life, gave it up for love. Now, all of a sudden, it feels lighter. It feels funnier. It feels like you start to see through the veil of the illusion. And and like funny, and it feels funny. It feel now you can expand on that, right? Because from that it feels funny, it feels grateful, it feels Hare Krishna, it feels yo, whoa. And now the fullness comes from that. Okay. Now you can bring yourself to that because we can go on the phone and we can get into so many projections. We can go into our planners and we can go into so many, and we can build up this whole gamified list of things that we still have to do and complete, and then get into a karmic pursuit. But the ultimate city from all of these superpowers that you get by literally meditating or contemplating yourself throughout life, and the powers, I'm not sure if I know the exact list, but you can expand awareness into the infinite, you can shrink the awareness into a dot, you can manifest things, and so and so, right? And there is immortality also, actually, of the physical body. And I mean, I experienced this in meditation. It's crazy. Like, I go into the emptiness, and then the physical body disappears. It's just a light body. It becomes a frequency of the light body. Then you can disappear. You become the void, and you can reappear. Then you can reappear as a physical world, as your room, as your apartment, as the world. So it's actual experience of like immortality, not gained by the person, but by giving up the actual person still need to do with an intention to collapse and get something. When you give that up, then you see how actually the whole dream construct works. And these are called NCDs, or realizations of deeper nature of reality. So they're not like powers that belong to the ego, they're just perspectives of consciousness seeing itself in the dream on different bandwidths, on different layers. Yeah. But the ultimate CD is said to be being desireless. So like you will get to like fly, and you will get to be immortal, and you will get to expand yourself and be in the entire universe and shrink yourself into like a pixel, and then like all this, like you can manifest, I don't know, whatever. But all of that is like cool, but there's stepping stones. But like the ultimate attainment, you can still be in the world, normal Joe, have no desire whatsoever. Kind of sounds not impressive. Like I rather go for these more video game cities. Like I can fly, I can make thunderbolts from my palms, I can like shoot lasers from my eyes and like manifest gold from like out of nothing, or what. Yeah, all of these are good. But then the one is like you're here and you have no desire, and then people are like, hey, you want to have a banana, and you're like, yeah, sure, like no unique, no tension between the subject and you have the banana. And then you go to work and you do some work, and then you get some money, and then you spend that money on like ice cream, but there's no tension between you and the object. So this like also, well, not exactly like, I wouldn't call it like non-dual state, but more like trinitized state. I was also talking about this before, because you are subject and the object, like regular Joe eating regular banana, but you're also the higher self or the container in which both of these arise. So then to you, you're free, and you can play subject with object. Like you can ride a bicycle, you can drink a glass of water, you can go smoke a cigarette, you can eat some pizza, you can climb on a tree, right? And but the collapse or the emotional intensity for like needing something to make you feel complete, it's not there anymore. That's a liberated state, and that's like what's called enlightenment. So enlightenment is not uh, dancing with unicorns. It is not shooting lasers from your eyes and all of that stuff. It's kind of like just being human, but no karmic intention. And then you can put some karmic intention, because it might be like that you just feel uh, things are more real when there is chaos, because the intensity of how the ego experiences the world seems more real. This, when you empty yourself out of the intentions, it looks like a TV show, like a video game, like something like really funny, like a fairy tale. Mm, yeah, but if you put some more intention, uh, it can start to feel a little heavy again, which is like feels more serious, more real, if that makes sense. Yeah, but the portal, yeah, is like, why would I give up my life, or for whom, right? And this, I don't think this can be like ideology. Like people used to go to war for their king, for their country, for ideologies like communism or something, like might be for your tribe, for your country. I don't know. Is that from love? Not sure. I'm not sure. Like it might be. It might be. It might be like a purpose that is so intense for you that actually you would give up your life. But then, if the purpose still needs you to do something to get there, then you need to imagine yourself that you already fulfilled the purpose, that you gave it your all, and then the goal is already met. And then what's behind that? It will release you. I'm kind of going around a little bit, troubleshooting maybe. Yeah, but basically that's it. So if you have somebody that you would give your life up right now, take your last breath, and you know it without thinking, without hesitation, that is a beautiful place, because you can then just enter this singularity. Okay, I'm free from my life, free from my intentions. And then you can return to your breakfast, you can return to your commuting to work, or you can, whatever you're doing, but you keep that perspective. You don't let your mind go into something very too intricate, too detailed. It's a good way to feel nice.